So Mary and I have been struggling with our live feed today because we kept losing internet connection, or Facebook was having problems. We're not sure. And so I've decided to make the tail end of the video, which is making the light leak technique in the new mold, GM282, as just a video. And then I will try and combine the live feeds that we did with this video and post it on YouTube and then share it on Facebook. That's the plan. Okay, so I have traced, I already did this part of the video, but I was going to redo it. So this is just a trace of the heart pattern that we will provide for you on the glass. This is standard thickness clear, and I'm going to score the pattern. Helps if you don't have little pieces of glass underneath. And you want to start down here. And I'm moving my glass, following the black line. And I'm going to go jump over that dip here instead of going down into the dip. This is the safer way to cut the heart. So I have scored along the black, and instead of going down where this dip is, I've just scored straight across. Now I'm going to attempt to run that score. I'm score side up, and I'm just putting a little bit of pressure with my running pliers. And now I'm going to use I'm going to try a little bit with this. So I'm putting my running pliers on the score side up with the black part of the running plier facing on that score. I'm just going to put the tiniest bit of pressure. And now let's see if it has run. Yes, this one, see? You can see that mirror line through the unscored side. That has run quite a ways, actually. It's gone all the way up here. Wow. Holy cow. That was a lucky run. Look at that. Wow. That doesn't happen all that often, guys. Usually I have to use my grosiers and put pressure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for where the score is not run by looking at the side of my glass for that kind of mirror line to stop, which it looks like right here. There's a little bit, but isn't run. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my grosier on the line like this, but I'm going to put it here so that I can put a little bit of stability on that glass, and I just ran it. So see that clear line now? Okay, it stops here. So now I need to do the same thing here. It doesn't make as much noise with the grosier as it does with the running plier. Looks like I need to run right here. Yeah, so it's right here, but it's not there. So I'm going to use my grosier. You don't want to put too much pressure. Another trick is you can put it on something soft, score side down, and add pressure this way on the back side of the score, which that thing is soft, but I think I've got it almost all the way run, actually. I think you could almost take it apart with my hands. I do. I could also run another line and break it off safely. So it has, I think that's run all the way. It's just, I'm going to have to make another score just to break the glass away more. Here's this soft stuff. This is like a shelf liner paper. I'm just going to put this down on my table. You got to figure out make sure you have the score side down, which is a bit of a challenge right now.
Because it's all already ran.
Yeah.
Except for that one spot.
Okay, that's the score side. I could feel it. And then I'm going to use my running plier and just put pressure where it looks like maybe it's not run. That's weird. I don't think it's run down there. And so that's, it gets confusing because that was score side down to put pressure on the back of the score. To put pressure on it, you want to flip it score side up. And so it was this side that wasn't run, wasn't it? Yeah.
It looks like it is, though.
There you go. So now it just kind of comes out like this, she says. Oh, there's another area that hasn't been run yet. And so it takes patience, guys. You can't push it too hard. And so now I've got this little area that I need to take off. And so I'm going to, there's a couple ways you could do this. You could come in and take a small bite, which is just kind of running in a little, not all the way. More of a curve. Bite it off. And then these grozers have a kind of a cool feature where you can kind of grind with them, which is cool. And so now I'm very close to that line. I could probably come in and bite it off even closer. Just the tiniest little whiff of glass here. This is going to be a challenge. If you have a grinder, you can use that too, but you really don't have to if you've got grozers with that grinding feature. So now I've got the glass for the base of this new dam mold. I've got a
one already cut.
A piece of
Don't get cut
papyrus paper in here, and I've already got these pieces cut. I cut the papyrus, and then I've cut a piece of pale purple, a piece of, this is Yagahanes. Oh my gosh, what's
that? The orchid?
No, it's got a different name.
I don't know.
I'll get you the name for this. This is a Yagahane piece of glass. It's a beautiful piece of glass. It's semi-transparent, and it's a lovely pink color. And then here's the base that fits in here. So this is just standard thickness clear, which I cleaned off. And, well, let me do it again. I cleaned off, and now I'm going to put it in the base of the mold. Maybe people like to see a face that's talking to them.
One is pink opal, one is, oh, they're both pink opal.
Okay, so this is Yagahane pink, oh, not this one. So this is the glass that I cut this out of, which is Y96707 pink opal, made in the USA. And then, so that's the heart that I cut out. And I'm going to put the clear piece down in the base of the mold on top of the papyrus. And then I'm going to break this and put it on top of that. And then I'm going to break this and put it on top of that. So I went through the trouble of cutting these hearts so that I could break them.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to show you this, breaking this glass on the stool because this table has got some give to it. And so what I've got is, this is just a wooden stool. This is a box that I had, look, it's Spectrum. Your Boris, wow. I've had this box for a while. And I'm going to put it down just so that it has a little bit of give. And then this is it's shelf liner, like, you know, for your kitchen. I bought it at Walmart. And so I'm going to put some here and some here. It's just a little bit more cush. And then I'm going to put my heart in here. Let's see. And I'm going to give it a whack. I'm going to put the shelf liner over the top so it doesn't, ignore this. This is the first pattern I made. I want it to be kind of in the center, so I'm going to note where the center of this heart is. I'm going to cover it with this, and then I'm going to use just a standard hammer. And there we have our fractured heart. And so I'm going to move this up to, I don't know where you want to go, the dam, to the dam. And I'm going to, this can be tricky because if you mix this glass up, it's hard to figure out how it went in there. So probably the best place to start is right here at the peak of the heart.
Are you going backwards though?
I don't know. This is right?
Mm-hmm.
I think. Guess we're going to find out. And what you can do is if you want more gap, you can lose like a piece like this one if you want to, so that you have a little bit more space for gap. But we'll make that decision after we put it in here. So I'm just reassembling the broken heart. Our poor broken heart, Mary.
It'll be beautiful when it's done.
Yeah, it will be. This is beautiful glass.
It is.
I like the fact that it's semi-transparent. It almost looks like it's glowing, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. And like changing from pink to purple.
Yeah. Okay, so the pink heart was ever so slightly smaller than that clear heart. And so I do have some natural gaps without removing any pieces if I want to. What do we think, Mary? I think that might be gapped enough.
Yeah, that's good.
So you just want to make it so that you have equal gappage. You don't want all the gaps to be on one side. It's like I've got the shakes or something.
It's because it's cold.
It is a little cold and I'm wearing a t-shirt. So I'm just messing about, trying to make it so that I like the distribution of gaps. Don't want them all to be on one side. Don't want one to be too big compared to the others. See what you think, Mary.
Does this have to go down a little bit more?
Yeah, it can.
Now you got a little there. We can make that evener. Oh, it's getting windy out there.
Looks good. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, this is just for my own convenience. It has nothing to do with the science of the project or anything. No, I think I'm going to leave it out. I think I like the hole in the middle. And so I'm just using Suave or any other liquid hairspray, and I'm just putting it in. You don't have to do this, but I'm going to show you this next step, which this liquid hairspray is probably not going to be set up in time, and so you're going to see these pieces move. And so on the piece I showed you, I'll show you what this project looks like constructed. Mary, do you know, can you hand that over here?
Mm-hmm.
I'm using some slightly different colors. So all I'm doing is putting a little bit of this liquid hairspray at the base of this, because I'm hoping that it goes underneath here and then holds these pieces tight a little bit when I put the next frit layer in. This is one that I did earlier, and this is one I put, so you see I have the clear base, I have the broken pink, I put some violet, fine violet into the small cracks, and then some grape into the middle area, and then I broke another piece of clear and put it on top of the pink. And the reason I did that is because to use these dam molds, you really want to make sure that you have at least 2 layers of glass. everywhere, the whole surface of the mold. So if I just didn't put this clear in here and I broke this pink and then I broke another layer and put it on top, this area is probably not going to be 2 layers of glass, and probably what's going to happen is I'll have an eruption. The air is going to come through the glass because this area needs to be 6 millimeters thick at a full fuse, because it's going to try and get to be 6 millimeters thick and grow a hole. And so that's very critical when you're using these dam molds, these ceramic dam molds with this super smooth finish, is that you need to put thin fire paper under your sheet of glass, and you need to make sure that you have at least 2 layers of glass throughout the entire surface of the dam. And so that's the 2 reasons I see eruptions using these molds, is lack of volume and also sometimes skipping a bubble squeeze. So I've done that. You can tell that the hairspray has not set up yet. And so I'm going to pretend that it is, because I don't want you to have to wait around for my hairspray to set up. And so I'm going to use Deep Aqua Transparent Fine in these smaller cracks, because the medium really is too big for the cracks. And so I'm just going to try and put just about as much as I need to make, it's filling cracks, but more than anything, it's just making a dramatic effect, because especially fine frit, it fuses down pretty much. And so I can't rely on this fine frit sitting in this crack to act as a whole layer, because it just simply won't be. That's why I'm going to add the second layer, which is actually going, in this case, we're going to use pale purple, just because I want to see what it does. Okay, so now I'm going to sweep the frit into the cracks and see it's moving. It's not complete disaster, but this other project, I let the hairspray set up, and it did make my life easier. I guess I could have been like a cooking show and stopped and then come back, but.
Doing pink first?
You want to try and sweep that in there? Let me see. That might work.
Yeah, that should work pretty good.
You can, a few pieces hanging out here and there's okay, but we kind of want it to be sort of clean looking, because it'll take away from the dramatic effect of the stripes or the fractures. So there I have some Deep Aqua Fine F2 frit in the smaller cracks here. Now I'm going to put a little bit of sky blue in the middle, and it's going to be medium grain. Oh no, not sky blue.
Pale blue.
Pale blue. One reason for that is I really want to fill that hole. Okay. So we have our Deep Aqua in the small cracks, the pale blue in the big hole. And now what I'm going to do is break this pale purple, and I'm going to put it over it. But I don't want to line up my holes in the same spot, because one reason I'm putting this third layer is to make sure that that spot has got more than 1.5. I want it to have at least 2 layers of glass in it. Right now it doesn't. That spot has a base layer and some frit. And so if I fired it like this, you'd have a hole there. And so I'm going to take this heart, plus I kind of think this color is going to be cool. And so I'm going to take this heart, I'm going to break it. Similar way that we just broke the pink one, but I'm going to try and make my hole in a different place. I think I'm going to try and put this one's hole over on this side of the heart. And so here we go. Back to the breaking area. Oh, I got so confused because the line of the table, I thought it was 2 different screens. Okay, so I want my hole here. And so I just kind of need to remember where, wait a minute. About here. Feels about right.
Looks right.
And so because of all the cush underneath there, you don't have to hit it as hard. Oh, boy, howdy.
You did a good one on
Boy.
that. But it's thinner glass. Not thinner, but that glass is pretty solid.
All right, here we go. Now I've got to put this purple heart into this. Ooh. I'm all over the place here. I'm trying to figure out how to get this camera such that you can see. Ah, there we go. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to try and put these back where they belong. And this can be kind of complicated. Make sure to keep your pieces together because, oops, look, I'm doing it on the wrong. Okay, so the heart is fairly symmetrical. So I'm going to try and do this. It might be a mistake, Mary. Because what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and make it so that the broken heart is on the other side. Only because that fell out. Only because I don't want this to be right over that break. Maybe it won't be. Heck, let's just do it like it is. I may have hit that purple a little hard. I didn't think I did, but it broke in a lot of pieces and it took us a minute to get it back together. But here it is, the broken purple sitting over the pink with the pink broken heart with the purple broken heart over it with some gaps in the purple. So some of that pink will show up. I tried to get the heart, the whole of the purple further away from the hole in the center, but it, for some reason, didn't break that way. And so I've put some clear to help make sure that that area has a plentiful amount of glass on it. And now I'm going to fire these two projects tonight in the kiln. I'm going to use a bubble squeeze. I'm going to go like 300 an hour to 1150, hold for 60, and then 50 degrees an hour to 1300, hold for 20, and then 350 an hour to, in a kiln that runs pretty true, 1450 with a 10-minute hold. The kiln that I'm using runs a little hot, so I'm probably actually going to go to 1430 with a 10-minute hold. And I'll let you guys see what happens.